Good evening. Welcome to 411 Sports World Podcast, where we bring you the real sports talk. Whether it's football, basketball, baseball, tennis, sports lines, debates. You want it? Well, we got it. We give you clear, concise sports knowledge for all sports fans across the globe. Now, introducing the panel of experts. Dawg, Lacy, Dawson, T-Rock, Mr. 411.
All right. Welcome to the show. Today is October 6th, 2015, and I'm your host, Mr. 411. And with me, as you just heard, I have a panel full of experts tonight. Lacy, Dawson, Dawg, and T-Rock.
We are full of something. Ciao.
The building is full tonight. Did everybody have a great... Yeah. Did everybody have a great sports weekend?
I've had better.
No.
What's the matter? Is that Dawg crying?
I'm sorry, I heard no tears. All I did was answer a question. And the answer was hell no.
That sounds like a disgruntled Georgia fan.
Man. The hate is real.
Wow.
It really
wow.
is.
Well, I'm glad everybody...
Well,
I'm glad everybody's here tonight, and we're going to go ahead and jump into something because it's very, very, very touching, very, very interesting here.
Is it?
There's a gentleman by the name of Redbird.
Ah, that guy.
He's an avid listener of the show, and
of course.
last week we touched on the 3-0 NFL teams,
Mm-hmm.
and by the way, this is our NFL edition for Tuesday, and we mentioned within 3-0 teams that Carolina was actually one of the teams that we said will be in a legitimate playoff contender. Well, I'm going to get you guys' take on this. So first, let me read you what Redbird sent in to 411sportsworldpodcast at gmail.com. And here it is. And I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. Y'all don't know shit about football as a whole. Only a few teams.
Is that the paraphrasing?
Yeah. Who says Carolina will be good? Look at who they played. They have no offense, and the defense is just okay. Luke McCown put up 22, almost more than that if it wasn't for a red zone interception. So, panel. Redbird says that Carolina is not a legitimate playoff contender. We'll start with you, T-Rock. What are your thoughts on this statement?
Well, I certainly beg to differ on that. Carolina, defensively, definitely capable of having a championship caliber type team. They got off to a slow start offensively, lost some weapons, especially their biggest key weapon, the receiver.
Yeah.
But the guys that Cam's bringing along with him, they're coming along pretty good. So the offense is starting to take shape. Got a pretty legitimate running game, somewhat banged up also, but they're starting to come along as well with Mr. Stewart. So, in my opinion, especially as far as the NFC goes, Carolina is definitely capable of being a contender for coming out of that conference and possibly representing them, at least in the maybe in the semifinals of the NFC conference playoffs. Not sure if they're quite ready for the Super Bowl, but they're definitely headed in the right direction.
Okay. How about you, Dawg?
First and foremost, all hail to the Dallas Cowboys.
That wasn't the question, you idiot.
That being said, I look at the Carolina Panthers. They are, whoever Tweetbird, what is his name?
Redbird.
Redbird, whatever Redbird. Is that real?
Maybe he's a Cardinals fan.
He's a real person.
You know what? If he's an Arizona Cardinal fan, Lord have mercy. Yeah,
That's his problem.
That might be it. That Kool-Aid got it. Know how to get that real sweet stuff. Yeah, he got it. But this is what I see right here. Honestly, Carolina Panthers, they're going to play. They are going to play the Falcons. Falcons look real good, of course. But Carolina, I see about 4 or 5 more losses for them. I see they play the Seahawks. Let me see who else. They got Seahawks, Falcons twice. So we at least one of those they should win. They go 1-1. They play the Packers. That's at least 4 losses right there. But they will represent. They will. I'm sorry. They play them Cowboys too. That's an L. So it's about 6 losses. So,
oh Lord.
Yeah,
oh my.
I'm just saying. But in this weak division, they should come out on top. Have to play the Falcons and see what's going on. If you look at the Falcons schedule, the Falcons play the Carolina Panthers twice, of course. So if they break 1-1, Atlanta might lose 2 to 3 games this year. Might.
Wow.
And that's a hell of a thing for me to say. I'm about to go throw up. Excuse me. But it's possible. So that's what my take on Carolina Panthers are. They are, because of that conference and who's there, they should be one of the top teams. They've been like that for the last 2 years now.
Exactly.
So that's it's not by fluke.
Mm-hmm.
These men before him, he was the only Heisman Trophy winner to win something, wasn't he?
Maybe.
He's one of the few.
Since Tebow.
Yeah. Oh,
Tebow
Lord.
went to Florida too. Oh,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Anyway.
Wow. Well, Lacy, what are your thoughts on this statement from Redbird?
Well, Redbird, he has a legitimate point, I think, in just challenging what we have to say, because we really do have to back up what we say as best as we can, because, nobody has a crystal ball. Now, I don't know what his whole gripe is, saying we don't know shit about football, because I don't feel like he does either. All he did was say a bunch of negative stuff. He didn't really say what he thought. They have no offense and the defense is just okay. Well, well, they're 4-0, so I don't know what your statement means. However, I did take some time to look at Carolina and just to see, because mostly I felt that way about Carolina's chances because of the weak division there, and just like Raw Dog said. However, Atlanta's in that same division, and so I looked at Atlanta and what they've done, and looked at Carolina because they're both 4-0. And Atlanta has played Philadelphia, New York Giants, Dallas, and Houston. Now, this would have been considered, the meat of the lineup for them. These are the heavy hitters that they're playing, and they're 4-0. But I have to say that even though they have played some really tough sounding teams, Philadelphia is just now trying to start coming around. The Giants are coming around. They caught them, in a weak moment, I guess. But they got them. And Dallas and Houston, both of them are playing, no matter what. Sorry, Raw Dog, but Dallas is just without Tony Romo, without Dez, it's going to be a long season.
And I'm going to go ahead and expand on that. It was an even game, y'all, and we just didn't do what we were supposed to do.
Well, too. I mean, they barely got out of that one. They're barely squeaking by in the games that they're winning. Well, no. So Dallas thought they had that game won at halftime, and Atlanta came back on them. I'm not taking anything away from them for that. But Atlanta's playing really well, and they played some of the bigger, some of the teams that are not in their conference. And to be fair, Carolina, when you look at who they played Jacksonville, they played Tampa Bay. They played Houston, as did Dallas, and they played New Orleans. So, they still have those teams to play, Philadelphia, the Giants, and Dallas, and the Redskins. And they also, both of them have to play the AFC South AFC East. So you know, they're in the same boat, and I feel like they're fairly evenly. Well, they're both 4-0, but Atlanta, there's so much of their ability to move forward lies on, well, at least until the emergence of Devontae Freeman, you know, had to do with Julio Jones. And him being healthy makes them a whole different team. And it's good to see. I live in Georgia, so these Atlanta fans are going crazy, and I'm happy for them. I don't think it'll last, but, you know, they are playing well now. I think Carolina has a team that's more built to last, that's built for the long haul. They don't have a lot of flash, and they have had to overcome some adversity so already. You know, they're dealing with the injury bug now. Everybody gets some of that. Atlanta hasn't had that problem this year so far, and I don't know, you know, that they will. But I'm just saying, Carolina's looking good despite what they've had to overcome, and Atlanta is seems to be locked and loaded, so they're looking good, you know. But either one of them, both of them, so far are playoff looking teams. We're a quarter of the way through. Either one of them could get that far.
Right.
Both of them could get that far, but Carolina's
they're both on the track. They're both on the track, and they're headed toward each other. But it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, and what I have is, you know, in our NFL preview, when we previewed this NFC South division, you know, I did pick Atlanta to win this division, and I picked it based on the schedule, and there's no slight to Carolina because they are the back-to-back. You know, they've just won this division for back-to-back years, and with what one of you all mentioned earlier, they playing Carolina has to play Green Bay. They have to play
Seattle,
and that's because they won the division last year. So based on where you place, you're going to play a couple of games against another division, but you're going to play that division winner. Meanwhile, Atlanta didn't win the division, so they're playing Minnesota
and San Francisco.
San Francisco. So a lot, you know, there's 2 or 3 games right there that's going to make a difference. Then they're head-to-head, even if they split. But this question was about Carolina, and for Redbird, I'd just like to say this. You can't look at Carolina offensively and take that with a grain of salt and run with it. Carolina wins ugly. You know what I'm saying? They play defense. They have one of the top defenses in the NFL. So they're going to ugly up the game, and they're just going to get the job done on the offensive end. You have Cam Newton, not a prolific passer, but he passes good enough, but he also makes a difference move with the run game, and specifically him running the ball. And that's an adjustment that a lot of teams can't handle. And Atlanta, you know, it happened to them last December. You know, to see who wins the division in the Georgia Dome. Carolina came into town, and they beat them up. So, you know, Carolina is legit. So, Redbird, you know, we appreciate that. We appreciate you making your comments and sending them in, and continue to do so. But that's our rebuttal, and we're going with Carolina on that one.
Okay.
News and notes. This is the biggest news of the day. Over the weekend, Miami Dolphins were destroyed by the New York Jets.
Yes,
over in London. And
what was that?
And it was
go Jets. That's what that was.
And there was rumors. Yeah, and there was rumors that even prior to this game, that if Miami didn't look good and they lose, that it's possible that head coach Joe Philbin would be relieved of his duties. Well, come Monday, that did occur. So he's been fired, and now the tight end coach is the interim coach. So, Pamela, was this the right move by the Dolphins organization? Lacy, go ahead and give us your take.
I'm on the record as having said that, you know, Miami had a really good team going into the season, you know, just based on what they've done and what they've accomplished, you know, what they've done with their offense, what they've done with their defense. They were poised to have a good season, and it's not too late for that to happen, but they have looked really bad. On both sides of the ball, they've looked bad. So I don't know if this is the right move, but I can understand it. But, you know, I don't know that you have somebody in line that's going to make it better. but it would be hard for it to be worse. They're 1-3, and they're, you know, they're just not getting it done. So I get it. I don't know if it's the right move, but I do understand it.
All right. Anybody else? Raw Dog?
Man, that man was lucky to get a ride back home. Man, that man said, y'all done tricked me. He said, what is this? What is this? He knew, man.
He did.
He knew. He could see it. You know, HBO couldn't say. HBO gave him a little life. They gave him a little life. Then after that, it was all gone. I mean, but you just expect more out of that team, man. You got a passer, and I will say Tannehill will pass the ball, and the running game is suspect. I will say that the running game is suspect.
Yeah,
but
it is now.
Other than, yeah. So we're gonna see how it all changes up. But I would have to say, yeah, go ahead and start. You know, you already when you're 1-3. Well, let's say 1-2 at the time, correct? 1-2 at the time. You can salvage a little something. Okay, now you got to play though. Now you got to do something.
That's right.
Something has to be done. I mean, if you say he was the problem, okay, I understand you say he was the problem, but you know, it's like a mortgage. That's coming every 30 days. Every 30. He got to have it. So you got to step up as a quarterback, quote unquote, the leader. We have to do some things and you're going to have to show up now because you don't have no other excuses.
Yeah, that's a good point. If he's the problem, then all should be well now. No, exactly. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. You won't let me throw the ball now. No way, you can throw it now. Go right ahead. So we're going to see how it all works out, man. We're going to see it.
All right. What about you, T-Rock?
Well, my team's a little different. Unless the team is just really looking horrible, not being competitive. And I know that the Dolphins, they've been underachieved. They did a lot of big moves. They're in the offseason. So the expectations were high. But I think after the fourth game of the season, you're already making a coaching change. And like I said, they've been competitive. They played some good teams. The Jets were much more improved this year. And the Jets look pretty good. I mean, for a while, Miami, they made a little run there towards the end, but they couldn't quite pull it off. Now, the moves that they made, getting rid of the head coach, bringing in an interim coach, I don't think it's going to improve the team.
Nope.
I think they pretty much already written this season off, so I don't agree that they should have done it then. But that's the decision that management has made. That's what they're going to go with. But if it was me, I would give them a little more time. See if they can make the adjustments to make the improvements. And maybe put together 2 wins. But like I said, it's been made, so it's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's well stated. And I guess on my take of it is I think it's more about him losing the team. I know there was a lot of rumblings about the defense, complaining about, how they should be executing their plays, what type of defensive schemes they should be running. And, the owner, he dumped $400 million into this new upgrade of the stadium. And there's no need to upgrade it, and you're losing, and nobody's coming in there to spend them dollars. So, I think it's a all-around decision here, business and on the field, that has led to Philbin being let go. We hope Dan Campbell, for those who don't know him, including myself, the tight ends coach, he played in the NFL for 11 years, and we'll see if he can gain the respect of the team and kind of right the ship there. So, Miami, LeBron's not walking through that door, and we hope that you can.
Oh my God!
I know.
Can make these things happen.
Was that? I'm sorry. Let's move on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you heard what you think you heard. Yeah, you heard that. I had to take a tequila shot every time he does something stupid like that. So.
You know what? You must walk around drunk. No, okay.
By the end of the night, I am pissy drunk. Yeah.
He must be. I swear to God. You gotta be. You're a Lakers fan, so it's fine.
Hey, we have the NBA preview coming up on next Wednesday, so
you don't really want to hear that.
See you there. Next Wednesday, buddy.
You better get ready. Get your fantasy sleepers right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes, sir. Well, before we get to next Wednesday, let's cover what happened last Thursday. The Ravens at the Steelers. No Big Ben. Mike Vick at quarterback. Joe Flacco at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens-Steelers rivalry. It was a close one, with the Ravens winning the game, saving their season.
Maybe.
What was your take on this matchup, Raw Dog?
You know what, man? I had hopes that Mike Vick would be able to survey the defense, see what was going on, but I was wrong. He was what we thought he was.
Who, Mike Vick?
Yeah.
Are you watching the same game?
Yeah, I mean his passes looked nice and crisp. They were good. They were decent. Pittsburgh is an aerial team, and they just have a beast running back. They air it out.
Yeah.
Ben is like 300 plus passing yards every game. I don't know what the statistics are right around that passing efficiency, but they got to be right behind Tom Brady and the Patriots. They air it out. And I've done every Pittsburgh receiver I have right now. I dropped all of these. I'm just saying.
Well, to be fair, he's playing in real life, not in fantasy. And he was just trying to do enough to win the game.
Exactly. Look, I am too. Lord, let me drop these people. But it's I mean, they just gonna rely on the running game. You know how it is when these backups come in. We got Whedon, so I'm praying for himself. But he did enough to manage the game, and he almost came up with a win. And
they should have
won.
He
didn't get too much. They should have. I feel that way.
I mean, that's on Tomlin.
I was surprised that he managed it. He did a managing of the game. So my hat's off to Mike Vick. Even though I probably won't ever announce that outside of this forum right here. But,
yeah,
that's okay. I mean, he did what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. How about you, T-Rock?
Well, I actually think Pittsburgh should have won the game last.
Yeah.
I agree that Mike pretty much managed the game, the way he probably should have, at least good enough to win. If Antonio Brown would have came down with that catch in the end zone, which he normally makes, the one that he let fly to his hand, that would have been another touchdown.
Wait, T-Rock. Can you come a little closer and say that one more time?
I said if Mr. Antonio Brown would have made the catch that he normally makes in the end zone, for the touchdown, rather than having to settle for the field goal, which I'm not sure they made the field goal, because I know the kicker missed too.
That's right.
We'll never know because he gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. But if he would have made the kick, he'd probably still be there. Pittsburgh probably would still have won. And 3-1 instead of 2.
Yeah.
That's interesting, T-Rock.
Wow.
You didn't blame the kicker. You blame the receiver.
Well, looking at that replay, I mean, Antonio Brown. See, this is a situation where, and I'll go ahead and say it, I'm a Mike Vick supporter, but I'm also a realist.
Oh my God, is that real?
But I'm also a realist. Mike Vick threw for 124 yards. That's not a lot of yards. Flacco threw for 189 yards. That's not a lot of yards. But Vick is a 15-year backup at this point, and he did his job. He missed some key throws, but he also made some key throws that, when you're in this situation with your backup quarterback, this is where the other players, the better players, have to raise their level. And Antonio Brown will be the first to tell you, he dropped that pass. 2 hands. I mean, he had 2 hands. It was right in the breadbasket. I mean, it couldn't have been thrown any better by any quarterback in the NFL. And this is your backup doing this. You catch that, that's a touchdown. That's the difference in the game. And so, now, it's true that there were some plays called here and there based on, you know, the inaccuracies of it, and that was an issue. But as far as a backup coming in, I mean, what more could you expect? I mean, the Steelers did what they were supposed to do on the offensive end to win that game outside of that drop by Brown and also the 2 missed field goals that were makeable. I mean, the Ravens made their kicks when it was time to make it. And that's how thin that line is when you have, you know, 2 rival teams going at it. You had something to say there, Lacy?
I do, because you know, I feel like the you know, Pittsburgh should have won that game, and the loss is on Mike Tomlin's head, because I understand that the guy had already missed 2 field goals, but instead of, you know, you got to put it on the line. You got to give it a try, because the guy, if he could have made that one, then they would have won the game. They wouldn't have had to turn the ball over, and then the other team scored. It's just one of those things. It's like if you're going to be a professional coach, you got to put it on the line. Now that guy might have made, if he would have made, he would have got the opportunity to make that kick, then maybe he would have made it and they would have won the game and all would have been forgiven. But Tomlin took that out of everybody else's hands. He said, you know, you know, you got your backup quarterback in here. You know, Baltimore is going to be waiting for, you know, waiting for some kind of trick from Michael Vick. You know this. You know, you're better off if you make the kick, if you kick the ball, if you kick the field goal and you don't get it, then you know you got to punt. But if you don't make the play and you weren't making the plays, Baltimore has been stopping you. Now you got to turn over the ball and they're in good position already. You just can't do that. You got to make sure that if you're not going to be in a better position, they need to be in a worse position. And he didn't do that. That's basic coaching. You can't do that. No matter how much you're mad at your kicker because he's missed two field goals. You can't put your vote of no confidence out there. If he missed 4 field goals, then fine. He missed 2. It's going to happen. It's happened before to everybody. But for him to say, okay, we're not kicking, even though that would win us the game if he makes it, you know, that's on Tomlin. That was mental. He mentally broke down. That's my opinion about it. As a coach, you have got to put your team in the best position to win, and I didn't feel like he did that.
Yeah, so it seems like it was a collective effort there around the board. You know, it's a little bit of here, a little bit of there, but at the end of the day, you know, another factor is also, and I give the Ravens this, their coach he had the trust in Flacco, because Flacco drove his team down the field when they needed it most, and he also had trust in his kicker, and Tucker came through with the big kick. So, you know, I give the Ravens their due there. Hopefully the Steelers can bounce back next week, and hopefully the Ravens can, you know, get over that injury of Steve Smith and try to continue to claw their way back into the playoff picture.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, Zach predicted.
And now.
Oh, my God.
They're going to win 10 more.
We have, and for the sake of time, you know, everyone saw the massacre in Atlanta. Texans were destroyed by the Falcons.
Yes,
so
I
let's
saw
talk
that
about.
post.
So let's talk about another team in the state of Texas. Dallas Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. It was a great finish. Cowboys at Saints.
Not if you're a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, and Raw Dog, we're going to save you for last. We'll save you for last, being the Cowboy fan that you are. We'll listen to what Lacy has to say about this matchup. Then T-Rock, and then Raw Dog.
I don't have much to say about it. I mean, you know, it kind of went the way I expected that it would. You know, we talked about. Oh, actually, that's not one of the games we predicted. But in a game like that, without Tony Romo, without Des Bryant, having to rely on the run, and Drew Brees is back in the lineup. New Orleans, it was more likely than not that they were going to win, and they did. So, I mean, that's kind of what I expected. So, without Brees, it might have been a little different. But
yeah, that's a good point.
With Brees in there, and that was kind of a I don't know if it was a game time decision, but it wasn't decided for sure until I think Saturday or Sunday that he was going to play. But once that
right.
became evident, it was Brees versus Whedon is really no contest.
Yeah. What about you, T-Rock?
Well, I kind of sort of agree with Lacy. I mean, it was what I expected it to be. Once they announced Brees' plan was well enough to play, I figured it'd be a tight game. I figured that Dallas would, give them a good shot like they did. But at the same time, I figured in the end, Brees and the Saints would come out victorious, and that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
Well, Dawg, the floor is yours.
Man, they were supposed to win that game. Let me tell you this right here. When I look at everything, I'm like, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's overtime. How do you move last two games? How do you move the ball so good in 2 minutes? And out of the whole game. What the hell? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Dude, I mean, we taking people off. Bing, 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 bing. Touchdown. What the hell? Oh, my God. Next thing I know, all of a sudden, I see CJ Spiller, the man is on one leg. One leg. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I had him in my lineup.
CJ Spiller.
Mm-hmm.
You had CJ Spiller in your lineup?
I was desperate.
You know what, man?
Yeah.
Look at God. Look at God. Boy, I tell you. She got an 80-yard touchdown off of desperation.
Yes.
Man.
But to be fair, New Orleans could have won that game in regulation. So, if that kicker had missed.
Well, I mean, next.
Yep. The year of the kicker. The year of the kicker.
It really is.
Yeah. Well.
So far.
Okay. Well. I'm sorry, guys. Here we go. T-Rock. Give us the state of the Patriots on this bye week. Coming off a bye. Give us the state of your Patriots. There's been a lot of talk about them, Deflate Gate. Will Brady play this season? Will he be suspended 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 games?
The man should have been suspended for the whole season.
And I mean, then it was can they beat Buffalo on the road and now these guys are 3-0 with the bye week. What should we expect of the Patriots the rest of the way?
Look, guys, we had a call previously when we talked about this, so
we did.
Really no need to really get all into that again. But the one point I made was all this garbage, this Deflate garbage stuff, was going to just wake up a sleeping giant, and that's pretty much what has happened. Offensively, they're clicking on all cylinders. Defensively, they're going to improve each week. So by the time we get to early November, late November, early December, I expect them to be clicking on all cylinders, offensively and defensively, unless, of course, some major injury comes. But probably their third best weapon on the team, he'll be back probably by week 7 in Brandon LaFell. And see, they've been moving the ball, scoring at will without him. So once he comes back, I think that'll just enhance the machine that they got going over there right now. Right now, best team in the NFL. Matter of fact, I'll give you my top 5 real quick.
Sure.
At 5, I would probably come in with, at 5, I had Cincinnati at 4.
Okay.
At 3, I had the Denver Broncos. At 2, I had Green Bay. And at 1, I had New England. And who did I have at 5? It may have been Carolina.
Panthers, Falcons? Is it
may have been Carolina.
Falcons?
I got Carolina a hair.
Arizona
I got Carolina.
Top 5?
I got Carolina a hair above the Falcons. I got the Falcons in at 6 right now.
Okay.
Got the Falcons in at 6, but it's close. It's close. That 5 and 6 spot's close. It can go either way. Yeah. Falcons been impressive. But I just want to see them. When they start playing some. When they start playing like Carolina, I think that'll be a good matchup. And some of the better teams in the league. I think they've caught a lot of teams by surprise. They've exceeded expectations. So, they've gotten a better team than what the opponents were expecting. But that's my top 5 right now. Got the Pats on top, and I expect it to remain that way throughout the season.
Wow. All right. Okay. Well, with that said, let's get to, since you have your top 5 and then you had Atlanta at 6, let's jump into our Pick 6 segment. And this is where we list our top 6 matchups and for the weekend. And then the panel will go around and select.
Hey, Mr. 411.
Yeah.
Since we're doing the Pick 6, I would like to go over some of the picks from last week, even though
absolutely.
The calculator and Zach are not here to participate. But last week we talked about Ravens versus Steelers. I believe it was 411 and Lacy took the Steelers, and Zach and Cooper, and the calculator took the Ravens. They were correct. We had the second one. We picked New York Jets versus Miami. The calculator was the lone Miami supporter, and the calculator was incorrect. Then we picked New York Giants versus Buffalo. Zachariah is the only one that chose the New York Giants. He was correct. Let's see. Right. We had Houston versus Atlanta. Everybody picked Atlanta except for me, and I had to pick Houston, and we all know why. I live in a Houston household. I can't not do that. So, okay. Then we had the Kansas City and Cincinnati. We all picked Cincinnati. We were correct. Then we had Philadelphia versus Washington. We all picked Philadelphia, and we were all wrong. So that's how we shaped up last week.
Huh. We was all over the place then.
We were all over the place. Well, actually, for the most part, we were in agreement, and for the most part, we were correct. So, half of us anyway.
Okay. All right.
So for this week, we're going to go Pick 6. Okay, I'm ready.
You're ready? Okay.
I am.
Game number 1, Indianapolis Colts Thursday Night Football on the NFL Network and CBS. Colts at the Houston Texans. Let me first say that the calculator submitted his selection of the Indianapolis Colts. So now, let's go around the panel. Lacy Dawson, I think I know who you're going with.
You're going to have to take me last because I'm trying to decide whether it's worth it to buck the system.
Oh, okay. T-Rock?
I'm going to roll with the Texans in this one.
Wow.
Yep.
You going to roll with who in this one?
I'm going to roll with the Texans. The Houston Texans.
All right. Bold. All right, here we go. Raw Dog.
I got to go with Indianapolis. I would love to have T-Rock's number so we can get a little something on the side. Yeah.
I don't like them that well. If we were talking about the Pacers, that'd be a different story.
And there it is, the verdict. Yeah. I'm with you.
Verdict. 411 has Indy.
Okay.
And now it's on Lacy.
Oh, boy. Just after what I saw last week, and I have to say I was at that Atlanta-Houston game, and it was just brutal. It is hard to take Houston, but it's going to be in Houston. It's on Thursday night. Everybody's going to be watching. They've got to play with some pride. They have to. But
Are you talking to them or talking to us?
I'm talking myself into this. Give me a second, you know. I'm like,
I almost got ready to go play.
I'm trying. I'm like, they just have to. I really want to take Indianapolis because I feel like they're probably going to win, but I'm going to take Houston because Arian Foster will have to. There will have to be more of him back than there was last week. So I will go with Houston. Arian Foster is a difference maker.
Yeah.
Washington Redskins at Atlanta Falcons. The calculator selected the Falcons. T-Rock, are you going with the Falcons as well?
Wow. You know, I just got a sneaky feeling that this is a week. Somebody's going to sneak up on the Falcons. I got that feeling, but I'm going to go with the realistic choice, and I'm going to stick with the Falcons.
You almost had us. Raw Dawg.
Man, we're going to keep this right here. I'm going to go with Atlanta.
Okay.
But we keep this right here. You be very quiet about this.
Okay. We won't tell anybody.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I need an anonymous bid or something.
Well, I'm going to follow suit, and I'm going with the Falcons on this one. You have Cousins on the road, so I'm not going to trust that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Lacy.
Well, look, don't be surprised if Washington upsets them.
I'm taking Washington. So I really feel like Atlanta. I was just in the Georgia Dome, and it is a hard place to play for sure. But Atlanta's, I think they're overconfident now.
Yep.
So.
All right.
Washington has been playing some smash mouth. So
is it unanimous? We all take the Falcons on this one, right?
I took the Redskins.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part. Redskins. So you have Washington. So we have one for Washington.
Right.
All right. Seattle Seahawks at Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are undefeated.
They are.
Seattle's 2-2.
Playing well.
They are playing
2-game
well.
winning streak.
And Seattle, in my opinion, looked terrible. Was it just last night? It feels like it was a week ago. They really are struggling. You know, they were struggling against Detroit. I hate it.
So who do you have, Lacy?
I'm going with Seattle.
All right.
That's how I roll.
Look, 411's rolling with the Seahawks. I think Seattle was just they had a tough start of the season with two tough road matchups. They don't look great on offense, but again, they remind me of Carolina. They're going to play that tough defense, and they're going to win ugly on offense. Give me Seattle. Give me Seattle over the Bengals.
Okay.
It's time for the Bengals to go down.
Raw Dawg. Who did the calculator take?
Seattle.
The calculator took Seattle.
Yes.
Okay.
So you got Raw Dawg.
At the end of the day, Cincinnati's going to look in the media and say, there go that man, mama. There go that man.
What?
It's going to be sad day. Ooh, man, I'm telling you, that's grown men playing defense over there. Do y'all understand? that is pain. What? Man, that is pain, man.
The Legion of Boom, yes.
Ooh, man, it is serious over there. Look, somebody going to get hurt. Old Hammy. You always see the Hammy. So about the second quarter, I can't take no more of this. Yeah. I'm going with Seattle.
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. T-Rock is on you.
T-Rock going with Cincinnati.
Okay.
I should have known.
It seems like I'm not the only one taking tequila shots.
And why Cincinnati, if we may ask? Because you are the lone wolf on this one.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I got them at the 4th spot.
Yeah,
in my top five, and there's a reason.
And Seattle's not quite the same without Marshawn Lynch. I hope he'll be back.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's a very good point. And I just think Seattle's they haven't really started clicking yet, offensively, and they're giving up a few more yards, defensively than normal too. So, Cincinnati hasn't had problems moving the ball, and I don't think it'll be a problem on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I just do a little? Can I do a little blurt out right quick? I'm sorry.
Can we?
Sure.
Man, Maya Moore is the truth. I don't think people really understand. She is sick. God.
All the way around.
The truth. Yeah, she's sick. But go right ahead.
She has game, as they say.
It just comes natural to her. Just like she was born with that.
Who's he talking about?
She's one of the best WNBA basketball players of all time.
Okay.
They're currently playing in the WNBA finals.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And the girl can ball. She can play some ball.
She can ball.
So we all have Seattle with the exception of
Can the Knicks sign her up?
Oh.
Can the Knicks sign her up instead of... Can we trade Carmelo for her? Shit.
Now, you know what? Wow. That'd be funny. Carmelo was Rudy Lee. I'm sorry, go ahead. My bad. Bad joke.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Well, Calculator has New England, and the Patriots are at the Cowboys. This will be a 4 p.m. game.
This will be a 4
p.m. game.
The Cowboys all day.
Oh, my God.
Raw Dog has Cowboys.
Yeah.
Mr. 411 has New England. T-Rock has New England.
There you go.
Lacy, who do you have in this one?
As much as I would like for Dallas to win, I'm sorry, Raw Dog. I can't do that. I can't do it with you. I can't go with you. You're going to have to go out on that limb all by your damn self. I can't do it.
It's all right. Look, I boldly go to the limb. Yeah. Shock the world.
T-Rock, this is T-Rock and Raw Dog. Your teams are going at it. So is there anything that either one of you want to say to the other?
I would love to watch
the game. Have the floor.
I would just love to watch the game with you. Let me know. Indeed.
Raw Dog, come on now.
Yeah.
Fall off the bed and wake up, man.
I said I would love to watch the game with him. What's wrong with that?
You don't mean that. You know better.
Man, I mean it with all my heart and soul. What did you say? Yes, sir. I unequivocally mean that.
Let's see a grown man cry.
But ain't gonna be no crying.
Oh yeah, there is.
There won't be no crying. I've been fortunate enough to catch 2 home games, so it's been pretty good, man. I feel pretty good. One was a win, one was a loss. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we will revisit this one by 7 p.m. or Sunday evening. Now, the next game.
The links?
Yeah.
We'll probably
Denver Broncos
at halftime. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It'll take that long.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah, I
halftime. Bravo. Halftime?
I heard what he said. And this is why we play the game. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Who's that?
Denver Broncos at Oakland Raiders. The calculator selected Denver.
No, you're kidding.
What?
Yeah. So who do you have, T-Rock?
I'm going to go with the Broncos.
All right.
Yeah. I'll go with the Broncos.
Denver still undefeated?
Yep.
They are.
Damn it, the Yankees.
Bravo. You have the Broncos or the Oakland Raiders?
Who's it on?
The home team is the Raiders.
No, I'm sorry.
It's the Raiders and the Broncos.
It's in Oakland.
I'm sorry. I didn't know who was on. I'm sorry. If it's on me. You know what, man?
Doesn't matter.
Let me say this right here. Amari Cooper is playing, man.
Yes, sir.
But that different defense has been a little solid.
That's the thing.
they've been solid. I don't know if Amari is going to really be able to get out there. I don't know. Safe bet would be Denver, but I think I would have to go with Denver. And if Oakland was to win this, they would be considered legitimate in my book.
Yeah.
Just for the record, so y'all understand and know that.
Mm-hmm. The problem is they couldn't beat Chicago.
Well, here's my take on it. I have Oakland.
You going with Oakland?
I have Oakland. I have Oakland winning this game.
You're going Oakland. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you,
Can you say why?
Well,
I mean, is
I
it
have
a gut feeling,
Denver,
or is it?
Well, it's more. It's a combination of that. It's a gut feeling, but you know the Raiders, they lost to the Bears the previous week, and it's one of those games where you look at it and you're like, man, they lost to the Bears. Man, there's no way they can come back and beat the mighty Broncos. Well, the Broncos will be on the road for this one, and Peyton Manning, despite 4-0, he hasn't been lights out. And I think that Oakland's defense has actually been playing pretty well, and they can make some plays back there on that end. And so I just have a feeling that Oakland is going to win this one in a like a 24-22 type of win. So I'm going with Oakland at home. They bounce back versus the Bears. They correct some errors from the previous week. And that Carter-Cooper combination will be on. Lacy, what's your take?
Well, I was going to take the Raiders, but now that you've taken them, I feel like I shouldn't. Well, because I'm just looking at our picks. I'm like, you're supposed to pick the home team more often than not, but so I am actually going to take the Raiders as well, and some of that is more wishful thinking than anything else. I'd like to see them kind of step up and get that done at home, give their fans something to cheer about. But I'm going to take them. I think that they really do have a lot of pieces that are working. I don't know if they can get around Denver's defense, but I think that they can hang with Denver's offense. So we'll see.
All right.
I'm sorry. Did you just say that Derek Carr can hang with Peyton Manning? Is that what I just heard?
The numbers aren't really lying, and that is correct.
Actually, he can. It's just the rest of his offense that gives that Denver is ahead of.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Uh-oh. Hello?
Yeah.
We're still here.
Oh, okay. I thought I just heard. I thought somebody said something. Okay.
I hear some background noise. Is that you, Raw Dog?
Oh, sorry. Depending on what you hear.
Sounds like somebody's television.
Oh, yeah. Television. Sorry.
Thank you.
My bad.
No
we get back in the quiet zone. My bad.
We appreciate that.
No problem.
Yeah.
Anything for the folks.
For the final game of the Pick Six, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the San Diego Chargers on Monday Night Football. Lacy, who do you have for this one? The calculator has the Chargers.
Okay. If this is a game and I think Big Ben is still going to be out.
He's
correct.
For a while.
No disrespect to Michael Vick. I think this game is going to be more like a shootout, and not that he isn't perfectly capable of shooting. I think that his coaching, I've kind of lost some faith in Mike Tomlin, and they're going to have a new kicker, so there's no telling how that's going to go. So I think I'm going to go with San Diego.
All right, Chargers. That's 2 for the Chargers.
Who's 2?
Raw Dog.
Oh, Raw Dog. Okay.
Chargers, man. That's a no-brainer right there.
They're at home. Yeah.
Oh, no-brainer. Okay. And T-Rock.
I think it'll be close, but I think the Chargers will take it, especially playing at home on a Monday night.
All right. Well, the Chargers will have the return of Antonio Gates. Phillip Rivers is a quarterback that loves to light it up at home.
But you love Michael Vick.
And I love the Steelers in this game.
Wow.
I have a feeling that Vick, he will throw for 150 yards, so he's going to run for 80 yards.
You get the 25 more yards?
And the rushing is going to be the difference here between him and Bell. And don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Martavis Bryant is returning next week.
He'll be
back.
Yeah, that's true.
And so you're going to see a different offense this coming Monday night. And if anyone wants to get together and watch it.
But they have that rapport with Big Ben. They don't have it with Michael Vick. But, we'll see.
But the thing is, Vick can throw that long ball, and that will stretch the defense. And now Martavis Bryant will be on the other side of Antonio Brown. So it won't be prolific, but I believe if Vick will run the ball a lot more, that's going to move the chain. And the threat of Bryant stretching the defense is also going to be an issue. Now, I will say this. It's more along the lines also that the Chargers defense is not lights out. So expect this to be a shootout, and I think the Steelers bounce back from last week's loss. Not saying they're the better team, but just for that night, I think the Steelers will pull this one out. And we'll find out.
Yeah.
Now, today in sports history, all right, October 6th, on this day in sports history, one of your favorite players of all time, Raw Dog, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan retired, and he decided to pursue a career in baseball with the Chicago White Sox. That's what happened on this day in sports history.
It's the day that
Does everybody remember where they were when that happened?
What are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan.
Yes.
There's only one.
Okay. He retired from this day.
Yeah, on this day.
Which time? He did retire more than once,
Yeah, this was the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is when he retired, and he decided to join and play baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other time he retired, came back, he played with the Wizards. Yeah.
Two bad ideas.
I consider, being a Chicago Bulls fan, I can, tell the panel here that, of course. But I will tell you this. I became a fan in 1980, and the two people that were on the team was Dave Corzine and Orlando Woolrich, and I didn't think that they needed to draft this skinny kid out of North Carolina. I was like, well, we got somebody. I don't understand that.
We know why you're not a coach.
I was very much against. Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
I have a serious team up here. They're trying to ban me from coaching these kids up here. Lord have mercy.
I bet they are.
It's not my fault that we beat somebody 78-2. It ain't my fault. I told them, boy, stop shooting shots.
Feels like it's your fault.
I know. They got mad at me. All these parents. But anyway, I'm sorry. I just didn't believe that Michael Jordan was what we needed at the time. And 10 years old, I can say that I was wrong. Yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah. Well,
very big of
you see how that changed. You see how drafting Jordan.
Uh-huh.
You see how drafting Jordan altered the history of the Chicago Bulls franchise.
It
so
did that.
Michael Jordan.
It also altered history for the rest of the league, because on this day, everybody thought that they actually had a chance. It was fair.
Who knew?
Including the Knicks, right?
And that means the Knicks were so happy. I can see it. Somewhere right now, Patrick Ewing rolling over his grave right now, smiling.
Who?
I had a chance. Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing?
Yeah.
Is he dead?
No, he's not.
No.
When did that happen?
Wow.
Look, it happened when he decided to come back. Woo, Lord have mercy. Go ahead.
Let's hope he doesn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, Patrick.
Oh, he can come on. Once we can finally decipher what he's saying, then we're going to get in.
Oh, wow. Patrick, we hope to meet you soon. Look, check this out. All the posts for Pick 6 will be posted on YouTube, so be ready for that.
Oh, really?
All these picks. Yeah, we're going to post these picks on YouTube.
So it'll be official.
Now. Oh, yeah. And Redbird needs to see them too. So we're gonna post them on YouTube. We'll load them up tomorrow on YouTube.
And let's challenge Redbird to tell us which team he is his team, since he feels like we don't know jack about anything other than a few teams. We know a lot about a lot of teams. It's just that this is a fairly regional show, and so we try to represent those who ask to be represented. So if he has a team that he wants us to talk about, all he has to do is ask. We'll be glad to do that.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
I hope his team is somebody like Chicago, though. I really want to talk about them.
Well, have we decided that it's not Carolina?
I'm pretty sure. Well, he calls himself Redbird, so I'm thinking he's a Cardinals fan.
Well, we're going to find out.
He didn't have a good week.
Let's hope Redbird shows up, replies back, and we'll find that out. And hopefully we can mention that on our next show.
We can talk about him anyway. So,
yeah. but go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, 411 Sports World Podcast, and you'll be in the know. Also, a few promotions. We have a promo that's running on 1670 AM for Fox Sports. The calculator will be on talking about FanDuel and some of the key selections that you'll need to make for this upcoming weekend. Mm-hmm. If you have any emails and comments, please send it to 411sportsworldpodcast@gmail.com. And be ready for our upcoming NBA preview show on October the 14th. We also have on tomorrow a college week 5 show where T-Rock will be in the building along with another special guest.
He's not Raw Dog.
Well, Raw Dog knows that door is open. And
all
if he
knows
wants to come
is
on,
Georgia.
If he wants to come on and discuss some Georgia football, by all means, Raw Dog, we will see you there.
I don't know, 2 days in a row. Ooh, that's scary.
You know what? I tell you.
Yeah, I have to come with some backup with me.
Uh-oh.
You will need it. Indeed.
Uh-oh. So be ready for the college show tomorrow. Be ready for the college show tomorrow, 8:15.
All right.
And just earlier, we're going to upload what we just recorded earlier, which was the fantasy football show, which was hosted by Lacy, Dawson, and myself. So be ready to get that information so you can go ahead and win this weekend. But for T-Rock, for Raw Dog, for Lacy Dawson, I'm Mr. 411. We thank you all for listening, and we'll see you soon.
All right, take care.
Good night.